So today we're going to discuss type 2 diabetes and neuropathy. Now you're watching this video and chances are you are struggling with diabetes and neuropathy and your feet are sending you terrifying warning signals right now. But chances are you're making a deadly mistake by ignoring them. They're creeping numbness, those shooting pains, they're not just minor inconveniences. They are your final warning before disaster strikes. This silent killer starts in your feet and then crawls up your body like a merciless invader. First comes the innocent seeming, it's just a little pins and needles, and then the numbness that comes and goes. But what your doctor isn't telling you this is the beginning, just the horrifying beginning. Now, soon these harmless symptoms transform into a living nightmare. It's constant searing pain that makes you wish for numbness, dead zones in your feet where you can't feel anything. So then balance problems that turn every step into a dangerous gamble. You can fall anytime. And then those simple cuts, the small ones, you don't even notice. And they turn into raging infections because, as I said, you can't feel them. Now, the frightening truth, those expensive medications your doctor pushes, they're nothing but expensive band-aids on a bullet wound. Now, picture this scenario. You're sitting in your bed in the hospital room, and your doctor won't meet your eyes. Then the words that will shatter your world: we have to amputate. Game over. Independence gone. Active life over, and your future is destroyed. But wait, there's still time to escape this horror story. Now, the medical establishment doesn't want you to know this because you can fight back. You can halt this devastating progression in its tracks, but only if you act now. This is so important. Will you take control of your health today, or will you gamble with your future until it's too late? Now, don't become another tragic statistic. Don't let your body continue its desperate countdown to disaster. Every second you wait is another second your nerves are under savage attack. Now, the choice is yours, but you must take action now. Tomorrow could be too late. There are no second chances with diabetic neuropathy. So, what's your next move? And if you still like, I'm waiting to see how it goes, well, that's exactly what thousands of amputees thought before it was too late. Don't let your story end the same way. So you're sitting in front of your device and you did a search for type 2 diabetes and neuropathy, and this video came up. So let me help you find the answers you are looking for. So my name is Vivian Neveling, and I'm the founder and CEO of Elite Health Renewal, aka the Diabetes Slayer. So every morning you swallow those gabapentin pills, hoping today will be different, but it never is it? Now, the burning pain, the maddening tingling, the numbness that makes you feel like you're walking on wooden stumps, it's all still there, isn't it? Now, your doctor keeps upping the dose, making you feel like a zombie, while your feet continue their desperate cry for help. And those overpriced miracle creams and ointments, pure snake oil. The charlatans selling those should be ashamed because they're preying on your desperation with their false promises of relief. Now, let me tell you what's really happening. While you're getting sicker and broker by the day, Big Pharma is getting richer, and they're counting their billions while feeding you medications that only mask your symptoms and barely even do that. Meanwhile, your underlying diabetes continues to ravage your body unchecked. So you've tried everything they've told you to do. Swallowing their pills that make you dizzy and confused, rubbing on the useless creams that cost a fortune, and following the approved dietary guidelines, aka the ADA, that keep you sick, and believing their lies that this is the best we can do. And where has this gotten you? Nowhere. Right, so let's have a look at gabapentin. So it's also known as neurontin, and it is commonly prescribed for neuropathy. Now, your brain is literally being rewired by this medication, and not in a good way. So Stanford researchers have uncovered the shocking truth. Gabapentin works by blocking the formation of crucial brain connections, essentially handcuffing your brain's natural ability to form new pathways. While your doctor casually writes these prescriptions, they're not telling you that this drug is so powerful it can cross directly into an unborn baby's brain, leading Stanford's own department chair to admit it's scary how this drug affects brain development. And even more frightening, once you start taking it, stopping suddenly could be catastrophic. But staying on it means your brain is being chemically altered day after day while the real cause of your diabetes continues to destroy your nerves. So think about that next time you reach for that pill bottle. Is temporarily masking your pain worth gambling with your brain's future? Now, your doctor keeps ignoring the symptoms while ignoring the real problem. Your doctor keeps treating the symptoms while ignoring the real problem. It's like I said, putting a band-aid on a gunshot wound while the bullet's still inside. They're keeping you dependent on their treatments while your diabetes continues its destructive march through your body. I mean, you're sick and tired of being treated like a walking prescription pad, watching your health deteriorate despite following orders, spending your hard-earned money on treatments that don't work, being told, as I said, it's as good as it's gonna get. Now, the truth, your doctor isn't equipped to fight this battle. They're trapped in a system designed to keep you sick, dependent, and coming back for more prescriptions. But here's what they don't want you to know. There is another way. While they're busy treating your symptoms, the root cause of your diabetes continues to destroy your body from the inside out. And you're not alone in feeling betrayed. Thousands of others just like you are waking up to this terrible truth. The question is, are you ready to break free from this vicious cycle? Because let me tell you something. Those tingles and pains, they're not just symptoms, they're your body screaming for help. So isn't it time you stop being a victim of this broken system? So what is the root cause of neuropathy? So here's what's really happening in your body right now, and it's more terrifying than your doctor will admit. Your skyrocketing blood sugar isn't just floating around harmlessly, it's launching a savage attack on your nerve cells. So those high glucose levels are literally cooking your nerve fibers alive. They're attacking the protective coating called the myelin sheath that surrounds your nerves like a protective glove. And once this protective shield starts deteriorating, your nerves are as good as dead. But it gets worse. Now, the longer the nerve, the more devastating the destruction. That's why your feet and legs are the first victims of this merciless assault. And just when you think it couldn't get more horrifying, your own immune system, confused by all this damage, turns against you. It launches an all-out war on your already dying nerves. And this creates a perfect storm of inflammation, constant inflammation and pain. And meanwhile, your doctor's keeping pushing pills that do nothing to stop this biological massacre. They're treating the pain while your nerves continue to die. So, the real killer behind all this is insulin resistance. That's right. The same condition that's driving your type 2 diabetes is orchestrating this entire nerve-destroying nightmare. So isn't it time you address the root cause instead of just masking the symptoms? Now, the process that leads to nerve damage in diabetes starts with what we eat. So when we consume carbohydrates, and it doesn't matter whether from whole grain bread, which they tell you is awesome, pasta, rice, or even fruit, our body breaks them all of them down into glucose. Now, complex carbohydrates are simply longer chains of glucose molecules that ultimately meet the same fate. They become blood sugar. Can you see that your blood sugar is elevated constantly, and this constant influx of glucose forces our pancreas to produce large amounts of insulin to manage blood sugar levels? Now, over time, our cells become resistant to insulin's effect. It's like a key that no longer fits properly in its lock. And as a result, your blood sugar remains elevated, leading to a destructive process where glucose molecules attach to and damage the protective coating, the myelin sheath around your nerves. Now, the solution starts with reducing our carbohydrate intake. Now, when we lower our carbohydrate consumption, we naturally reduce our body's needs for insulin. Now, this helps break the cycle of insulin resistance and high blood sugar, potentially halting or slowing the progression of nerve damage. So, carbs spike our blood sugar. Protein doesn't do much, and fat doesn't spike your blood sugar at all. So rather than just treating symptoms with medications, which is an endless story, addressing the root cause through dietary changes can help protect our nerves from further damage and reverse both your type 2 diabetes and your neuropathy. Now, the rising diabetes epidemic is largely driven by profit motives in the food and pharmaceutical industry. Now, big food companies continue flooding the market with cheap, processed foods loaded with refined carbs and sugars that spike insulin, while major pharmaceutical companies make billions from diabetes medications that treat the symptoms rather than addressing the root cause. Now, the conventional medical system trains doctors to manage diabetes and neuropathy with medications rather than cure it. I mean, despite evidence that low carbohydrate diets and lifestyle changes can reverse type 2 diabetes and neuropathy. Now, the uncomfortable truth is that there's more money in treating diabetes long term than curing it. Now, the average diabetic patient generates significant lifetime revenue through ongoing medication, supplies, and medical visits. Meanwhile, official dietary guidelines continue to recommend high carbohydrate diets that worsen insulin resistance, the very condition driving type 2 diabetes. Now, listen, most doctors aren't being deliberately malicious. They're simply practicing medicine as they were taught. But the system they work within is designed to manage disease rather than prevent or cure it. So listen up, because this could be the moment that flips your world upside down. We have just unleashed a game-changing video masterclass. Now, this isn't your run-of-the-mill tutorial. It's a full-blown, no-holds-barred battle plan designed to help you crush type 2 diabetes, supercharge your health, reverse your neuropathy, and melt away those stubborn pounds. But let me be crystal clear. This isn't for tire kickers or fence sitters. We're on the hunt for warriors, people who are ready to be coached and are hell-bent on transforming their lives. If that's you, then for the love of everything you hold dear, don't waste another precious second. Click the link, it's in the description. Watch the masterclass, it's absolutely free. You've got nothing to lose. Because this could be the pivotal moment that rewrites your entire life story, kickstarting your journey to diabetes freedom. Right, it's us against type 2 diabetes and neuropathy, and we're taking no prisoners. We're in this fight together. Are you ready to join the front lines? Watch the masterclass.